Hi, my name's Kelly, and I'm an eBay reseller. I've had an eBay account for years, but I hadn't started reselling on eBay until about 8 months ago. But this week, something really crazy happened to me, and I thought I need to make a YouTube video. So this is my very first YouTube video because I wanted to document the day I went into Goodwill and found a Grail on a regular Wednesday afternoon. I know it was a Wednesday because Wednesday is my least favorite day to go into the Goodwill. The reason why is in my town, it is Senior Citizen Discount Day on Wednesday. And as you can tell, I am a little bit older, but I'm not that old. But every time I check out, they ask me, do you qualify for the discount? And it hurts my feelings. So to avoid having hurt feelings, I pretty much just avoid Goodwill on Wednesday. But this particular Wednesday, I needed to go to the post office to drop off some packages from sales that I had from the day before. And sales have been really slow. And my post office is right next door to a Goodwill. So anytime I go to the post office, I inevitably go into the Goodwill. But this day, I really did not want to go into Goodwill, but obviously, I'm glad I did. Dropped off the packages, headed over to Goodwill. Parking lot's packed because it's Senior Citizen Discount Day and it's 30% off for those 55 and older. So that's another reason it's usually crowded. So I just try to avoid Goodwill on Wednesday. It was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is another crazy thing that I found this Grail on a day I didn't want to go there at a time you'd think it would already be picked over and nothing good would be left in the store. But it just goes to show you, you never know what you're going to find when you walk into a thrift store. So anyhow, I told you sales are slow. I have plenty of inventory. I have a death pile. I really did not need to be sourcing that day. So I went in just casually looking around, taking my time, just telling myself, unless it has an insane sell-through rate, you are not buying it. So I'm just casually looking, kind of weaving in and out of the people. And I'd probably been there about 10 or 15 minutes before it dawned on me that I hadn't even checked the new inventory cart. So in the back of our store, every now and again, they'll roll out the new inventory cart, and it's actually two carts, like a top shelf and a bottom shelf, and they usually roll them out next to each other. And by the time I thought about going over there, I got there and not one person was around the cart, and it was completely picked over. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff left, but I looked at the first cart, and I honestly don't even remember if I got anything. I took a look at the second cart, and right there on the top shelf, eye level, I see sealed VHS tapes. And I know from the YouTube videos that I watch Commonwealth Picker, and I know from Froggy Flips that horror is a good category, as well as Harry Tornado is a good resource for me. And also, I love Rachel Strickland, and lately she's been selling vintage sealed cassette tapes for a lot of money. So when I saw these VHS tapes, I scooped them up, threw them in my cart. I was excited, but I wasn't that excited. I know that I've looked up sealed ones before and they weren't worth a lot of money, but it was an ET sealed, 2 Jurassic Parks. The horror one was A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, and then a couple other random ones that one was the Star Wars, The Making of Jedi or something like that. So anyway, I threw them in the cart. I knew I probably made some money off of these. They were definitely worth more than the 99 cents each that I paid. So I put them in the cart and I continued shopping at Goodwill. I didn't like race home and go, oh my gosh, I found a Grail. I just shopped like I always do. And then when I got home, I sat down and actually I started taking pictures because they're pretty easy to list. And I thought, okay, might as well get all my pictures ready. And then I parked it on the couch and I started listing. And of course I started with the horror one first. And I realized, this might be worth like $200. So I was super excited. I was telling my husband about it. Based on the research that I did, that's kind of what I thought it was worth. So I put it up. I wanted to put it up as an auction. I almost always do buy it now. I can't even recall a time that I've done an auction before. And so I put it up, $149. Thought I hit the auction button, but out of habit, I hit the buy it now. And no sooner did I get up off the couch from listing it and it sold. And I was like, what the heck? Because number one, if it sells that fast, you know you undersold it. And number two, I was like, that was supposed to be an auction. So I was panicked because Obviously, this thing was worth more money than I thought. I knew it was worth at least $50 or $60 more in my head at the time. So anyway, I'm panicked. I'm fairly new at this. I'm a good reseller. I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to get into trouble with eBay. So I'm like, what am I going to do? And I was talking to my husband about this. And as I'm telling him all this, my eBay app is blowing up with emails, one after another, going, why did you sell that for $150? Do you have any more of those sealed horror films? Do you have any more sealed VHS? Don't you know that thing was worth more than $150? And so I'm straight up panicking. And so my husband's like, calm down, slow down. You can fix this. So I know that I have to cancel it. So I quickly write up an email to the person apologizing for my mistake and telling them I want to do an auction. And immediately that person wrote back and said, I'll give you $500 for it. So then I'm like, oh my gosh, $500. So this is worth more than I thought. And based on all the emails I was getting, I realized this is something very interesting. So one guy sent me a link and said, don't you know that that thing is listed right now for $12,500? Buy it now. So I'm thinking, okay, these people, maybe they don't know. Maybe this is just, mistake or whatever. But the next email came in and it was somebody else. I'll give you $1,000. Next email, where did it go? I'll give you $2,000 because I hadn't even been able to relist it at this point. So after I get all this information, I start going back and forth with the guy that showed me the 12,500. I decided to do an auction and I started it at 500 since I was already offered that. But I did put a reserve on it and hoping I would get up into the thousands because obviously this other person thinks it's worth 12,500. So anyway, it has been a crazy, crazy week. Watching the auction was fun. It started off a little bit slow, but towards the end, it got a little bit crazy. So do you want to see the VHS tape that I got? So let's take a look of where I've been storing my Grail. I usually keep all my inventory down in my basement, but I don't want anything to happen to this guy. So I've been keeping him upstairs and in this dresser. You guys are gonna laugh when you see what other VHS tapes I have. Yep, Disney. I thought I struck it rich over the summer when I first started reselling and saw all these clamshell Disney at the Goodwill. Of course, we all know they're worth nothing. So yeah, I probably should redonate those. But here is the bad boy right here. Freddy's Revenge, sealed, factory sealed. There he is, first edition. And what makes them a first edition? There's some extra text up here. There's an extra flap here at the bottom. We got a flap at the top there, the back, and we got the watermarks going all the way up here. They say media. There's a couple little blemishes on his chin there. There's a little tiny hole, and on his pinky, a little tiny hole there as well. But other than that, factory sealed and beautiful. Now let's take a look at Goodwill. I'll give you a mini reenactment of where I found them. So here's the Goodwill that I found the sealed VHS tapes in. Let's take a look inside. So this is my Goodwill right here. And straight back. And right here is where the carts are, but today there's none. So these are the VHS tapes that I got along with the Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I got E.T. sealed, 2 Jurassic Parks, Mission of Justice, My Fair Lady, there's 2 in there, and then this Star Wars one. And this is my cat. My sweet cat. This one I have listed for $299. One just sold recently for $295. These I've got listed for about $40 each. This one's already sold, I think $16.99 plus shipping. This one isn't worth very much, maybe $15, I don't really remember, and I know this guy's worth pretty much $7 or something. So it was still fun, and I got some other stuff that day, but I had a lot of fun getting these for 99 cents. Pretty exciting.